Hello everyone, Lightproject here. Today I'm going to give you an update on HiveTips Patreon, this new feature that we are releasing. So Patreon is we inspire ourselves in the famous Patreon app, which is used for people to support other persons because of their contributions. We like the idea of letting people have contracts, monthly contracts, so that they can support the other person. It's very handy. It's simple. It's a simple idea, but the reality is that both sides benefit from it. The beneficiary, the person getting supported, is like doesn't need to remind the other guy, hey, it's a new month. Could you please support me again? It's like, on his side, it's pretty handy. And on the Patreon side, on the supporter, it's like he doesn't need to remember each month that he's supposed to support someone, like the idea of signing a contract that automatically pays makes things way easier. And it's totally natural. I mean, there's a lot of people out there giving a lot of work, sharing their work with everyone who are really they really deserve help and contribution because they have no other means, right? They are some people are just starting off professionally in a new field, or yeah, there are different cases. Anyways, I'm just the developer. I want to talk about something very interesting, a challenge that I personally find very interesting, which is centralization versus decentralization. The story is very simple. We at the beginning, we saw this Patreon feature from a very centralized approach because of short of sight, maybe. Thing is that in the early beginning, when we started, we were thinking in terms of this can only be done via active authorities. So in Steam, we have three roles. We have posting role, active role, and owner role. The one we're looking at is active, which is the one that allows transferring of tokens between accounts. And that is what we needed in order to being able to send on your behalf money to the person you want to support, right? We read your contracts, your Patreon contracts, and then at the first of the month, we say, okay, this guy is supposed to support this other person $2 a month, so we would send the money on your behalf. But first, you will need to allow us your active authority. Now the thing is, I didn't like this at all, but I felt forced to. I don't like the idea of you having to trust me. I mean, of course, I love it, you trust me, but I don't want to force you to trust me or the service I'm developing. You're not supposed to need to trust me because you might not necessarily know me personally, or you don't have to. Simple as that. So we started to think about this at our team, and we realized we had to do something about it. So then we shifted our focus on full client. What if we do everything on the client? When we talk about the client, we mean the extension, HiveTips extension. It's a client, so it has the resources to do things, a lot of things. It can save your keys. It can fetch data from the blockchain. It can have its own little database. It had resources to do things. So we were thinking, let's try to have it independent, to have it do the whole Patreon thing independently without using authority delegation. And then I started to think about it, and yeah, actually, it's pretty much possible, and we're very happy to realize that it is. So now, Patreon in HiveTips is gonna be like this. Once you fill your contract, once your contract is filled, the client is gonna be self-reliant. You're gonna be able to see what contracts you sign at any time, and then at the same time, you're gonna be able to sign a new patron support contract, and you can remove them, everything from your client without any third party involved, without any central element involved. Not us, not anyone. Everything in your browser. So how is this done? We're signing, when you sign a new patron contract, so to say, we like to call it contract because there's an actual proof in the chain. That proof, it's an operation called custom JSON. It's like a testimony. It's basically text formatted in JSON formats, displaying the information that is relevant to the system, to our system, so that the system can interpret it as a contract. So you're able to sign these custom JSON operations. You're able to disapprove them. You're able to remove them, to cancel them. You're able to see the list of them and the dates, and see how many times you've been supporting each person, and so on. You can have a full track of your history. And then the broadcasting, most importantly, the actual broadcasting of tokens at the beginning of the month, it happens 100% completely on your machine without the need of any third party. This part is fundamental, and this also is accomplished fully on your end, on your client. So now we can say that Patron as a feature is 100% trustless. There is no trust involved. Okay, so yeah, I mean, funny story. We had a crazy challenge here, engineering challenge when it comes to concept design, when it comes to coming up with how to design a product or a service. And I mean, here I am telling the story because I think it's really interesting. It's pretty much what's all about here in the blockchain: centralization versus decentralization. Thing is that decentralization sometimes is really challenging. So, but me personally, I think we should always strive for it whenever it's possible. And this is a clear example. We should not be lazy and always strive for decentralization. And let's treat our customers, let's treat people, users, like responsible adults, because we can be the masters of our own, on our own. We are supposed to manage our information and our stuff as independent as we can.